Hello everyone, it's Tiffany of Clarity, Confidence, Courage, Women's Empowerment. And this week I want to discuss how to let go of chaos and normalize peace after divorce. For the women that have lived through a chaotic marriage or a chaotic, really long-term relationship, the idea of getting divorced may feel like peace, may feel like, okay, I finally get a chance to have some peace in my life. Well, I'm here to tell you that's kind of true and it's kind of not. Today, I'm going to tell you the reason why you may find yourself still dealing with chaos even after a divorce and why you must learn how to normalize peace. As always, be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can make sure other women who are struggling with the exact same issues are learning this information too. Now, let's jump into this content. If you are involved in a chaotic marriage, then 9 times out of 10, the chaos didn't start when you got married. It started way back in childhood. For a lot of my coaching clients, when I discuss issues around their marriage, why it was chaotic, what actually happened, and the reasons that led up to their divorce, what many of them tell me is that there were red flags way before they got married. However, the reason they moved forward was because a part of them felt like this is normal behavior. Everybody has issues. Sometimes you have to compromise. Isn't this what your parents went through? Isn't this what some of your friends went through? This happens. So you allow yourself to ignore the red flags. Now, let me tell you this. From a psychological perspective, from the ages of 0 to about 7 or 8 years old, those are the prime years that most children start to build up the foundation of the perspectives they have around emotional, behavioral, and physical development. So basically, whatever you see in your environment, in your household, that's the time where your brain and your subconscious mind says, this is the baseline. This is the standard. This is your norm. This is normal. So for example, if you grew up in a household watching your parents struggle to make money, struggle to pay bills, just living check by check by check, you may grow up and say, that'll never be me. You may go to college, get a great job, yet you may still marry someone and end up in a circumstance that's just like your parents, where you are struggling to pay bills even though you're making money. If you grew up in a household where one or both of your parents were alcoholics or drug addicts or had some addiction, you decide that you might grow up and you're never going to drink, you're never going to smoke, you're never going to do drugs, you're never going to be a part of that type of lifestyle. And yet, you will still end up in a relationship with someone that has some type of addictive behavior patterns. If you are a woman that grows up in a household where your father is abusive or narcissistic or very controlling, you may say, I'm going to grow up and I'll never be like my mother. I'm going to be an independent woman. I'm going to have my own car, my own job, and blah, 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 blah. And although you might become independent, you may still end up with an abusive, narcissistic, and controlling husband. So the question is, why? My point is, whatever you saw or experienced in your childhood made an imprint on your subconscious mind. And somewhere in your subconscious mind, your brain, your mind normalized the behavior. So when you grow up, you unconsciously recreate your childhood all over again. Might have different characters, but the scenario is very much the same. It means that you have recreated the same chaos and confusion, not because you're crazy or insane, but because your mind thinks it's normal, because that is what you normalized in your childhood years. So the question then becomes, after you get divorced, how do you allow yourself to create a new normal so that you don't go back and recreate all the chaos and confusion that you had in your childhood? How do you allow yourself to live a life where peace is your baseline? It's your new standard, where peace is the new normal. A lot of my coaching clients come to me because they're trying to understand how to literally cope with peace. It's like they literally don't know what to do with themselves. And some of them eventually will put themselves in other chaotic situations, even after their divorce, because chaos feels normal. The reason is that if you've never experienced peace and chaos feels so familiar, in some ways, ironically, it's actually comfortable. So many times women in these situations, they don't know how to identify with peaceful relationships, peaceful friendships, peaceful jobs, or even peace in their finances, peace in their living circumstances, or peace in their physical and mental health. It's hard to normalize peace when you don't know what it feels like. To normalize it, you must understand what it feels like, what it looks like, how you feel when you're around it, which means peace may be the complete opposite of what you consider normal or how you were raised. So here are some tips on how to normalize peace. First, keep a journal. Journaling helps you to reflect on who you are, your daily experiences, and how you react and respond to them. In your journal, be willing to question your behavior. Start asking yourself why you do certain things, why you eat certain foods, why you hang out with certain people. Be mindful of how you respond and react, and write it all in your journal. Allow yourself to kind of step outside yourself and look at your life as if you're an alien from another planet and you're trying to get an understanding of who you are. Next, sit in silence and meditate. Experience what peace feels like. It's a sense of calm, a sense of quiet, a sense of stillness. That is the true feeling of internal peace. The point of meditation is to align yourself with that feeling every single day, to understand that feeling of knowingness, of awareness of self. And that will suddenly become the criteria for what you will begin to compare all the other things in your life. When you are in meditation and you practice it on a continuous basis, you allow yourself to align yourself with the feeling of peace. And then when you're not in a situation where you feel that feeling of peace, you know the difference, because that feeling that you get during meditation as you practice will become your new norm. It will be the feeling that you will feel good about. And when you meet something that takes you away from that, that's the beginning of you knowing that it is against your peace. Next, focus on the facts of a situation. So many times we go into a situation, whether it be romantic relationships, friendships, or work, and we want to see things for what we want them to be instead of what they really are. Don't look at the potential of things. Look at the facts. Look at the numbers. Look at past behaviors. Look at the patterns and make decisions based on the facts. I'm not saying sometimes your intuition will not come up, but a lot of times you have to balance and be discerning between what the facts are and what your intuition is, especially when you are still trying to work through your feelings and your emotions and what you consider to be normal. Schedule time in your calendar every week for yourself. And this is a time where you don't focus on anyone or anything. This is a time where you can just go for walks or take up a hobby or do something that just makes you feel good. You don't have to explain it to people. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to defend it. All you have to do is enjoy the moment with yourself. Next, stop trying to be a fixer. You were not put on earth to fix all the problems of the world. Trust me, if you're trying to fix something, there will always be something for you to do because there are a lot of problems out here in this world. So give yourself a week where you literally tell yourself, I am not going to solve anyone's problems. I'm not going to find any problems for me to focus on. I'm going to let everyone else figure it out and they can have the job of fixing themselves. Give yourself the opportunity to not be a fixer in someone else's life. Set firm boundaries. Be willing to say no and mean it when you have to. If you feel like something is coming against your peace, your joy, and your comfort, say no. That is the beginning of you making sure that you are normalizing your peace. Because when you keep saying yes to things that you really don't agree with, or you don't feel good about, or you have a deep sense of hesitation or sickness in the pit of your stomach, those are all signals that it goes against your peace. And in the beginning, setting boundaries may not be easy, but trust me, by the end of it, it will become a practice. You will get normal. It will become your new normal, and it will make your life so much better. Next, give yourself time to take a break from chaotic people, places, or situations, even if those people or those situations are family members. Be willing to surround yourself with functional people who take accountability for their actions. People where you don't have to do anything to get something. You don't have to give anything to. These are the people who who have really helped you and supported you on your path and your journey towards your goals and what made you feel good. They're people who didn't ask for something in return or expect you to give something because they gave a little. These are people who just want to see you win. Many times as a child, you were surrounded by chaos and you were taught that you have to work or do something from someone in order to get love. And that's not normal. You don't have to give in order to receive love. You don't have to do anything. When people love you, they show it, they reflect it. And so much dysfunction comes from the belief system that in order for someone to love me, I have to give them something. I have to give them my time. I have to give them attention. I have to give them sex. I have to give them money. That's the only way they're going to love me. So when you are in a situation of dysfunctionality in your life, you have to understand that you don't have to give to receive love. You don't have to do anything. We just have to be the best people we are ourselves. And when you surround yourself by people that see you're good enough and that just want to be in your life because they care about you, not because they want anything, those are the type of people you need to be around. You don't have to give anybody anything to receive love. Next, take care of your physical health. When you don't feel good, your body physically is sick, it is so difficult to find peace. Peace comes from a place of satisfaction, contentment. And if every single day you are fighting your body because of a sickness, because of an illness, because of something that you haven't gone to the doctor for, it's only going to get worse. Part of your peace is actually physically feeling good within your own body. And that can look like a lot of different things for a lot of different people. If you have a sickness, then you need to start working on doing some things for your health. If you're dealing with, poor diet, then add some nutritional foods back into your diet. Maybe you do need some physical activity to kind of pull your energy up and get yourself out of a slump. The bottom line is part of finding your peace is being healthy physically, mentally, and emotionally. Next, get support, whether it's a support group, therapy, or a coach to help you take accountability for your life and get focused on moving forward in the best place that you can towards peace. It's so hard to move forward into peace when you're surrounded by chaos. So sometimes you need someone on the outside who is peace and for them to help pull you closer to alignment with what peace feels like. Lastly, love yourself. Focus on what makes you feel good. Stop allowing the noise of the outside world to betray the loyalty that you have to yourself. Love every inch of you. You may not be where you want to be. You may not look the way you want to look. You may not have all the money in the world, but you are good enough. You were born good enough. You are good enough. And the only thing that you have to focus on is the journey to finding that child again, that child that was free, that was happy, that was loving. You have to find that child and you have to allow her to love herself for who and what she is. So love yourself. That is your closest thing that you can get to your inner peace. I hope you enjoyed today's video and was able to help build up your awareness around the concept of how to let go of chaos and normalize peace. If this is something that you really are struggling with and you want to learn more about how to really jumpstart your life after a divorce, then make sure you click the link in my description, jump on my calendar for a free coaching strategy discovery call, where we'll talk about where you are, where you want to be, and how maybe us working together will be the right next steps for you getting there. As always, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.